Lucas opened his eyes at 4 in the morning, and the first thought was already formed: the presentation. His heart raced before he even got out of bed. Beside him, Marina slept turned away, as always. It had been months since they slept like that, backs to each other, each on their own island of silence. He grabbed his phone, 17 new emails, 3 messages from his boss, a notification that the investor meeting had been moved up. His stomach tightened. There was no time. There was never time. Lucas was 32 and seemed to carry 60 years on his shoulders. Project coordinator at a tech startup promising to revolutionize the market, he worked 14 hours a day. Weekends were just days without traffic on the way to the office. Vacation was a word other people used. 3 years ago, when he accepted the position, Marina was pregnant with Sophie. He promised he'd be different from his father, that absent man he barely knew. He promised he'd be present, that success wouldn't cost him his family, but promises dissolve in the rush. Sophie was 2 now. Curly hair, enormous eyes, a laugh that lit up any room. At least that's what Marina said. Lucas saw his daughter sleeping. He left before she woke up. He came back after she'd fallen asleep. On weekends, he was too busy, too tired, too stressed. Marina stopped complaining 6 months ago. Her silence was worse than any fight. That morning, as Lucas dressed in the dark, Sophie appeared in the bedroom doorway. She held a worn teddy bear, eyes sleepy. "Daddy, are you going to work again?" Lucas was tying his tie, eyes on the mirror, mind already at the meeting. "I have to go, princess. Daddy has important things to do." "More important than me?" The question sliced through his chest like a sharp blade. He turned, but Marina had already appeared, picking Sophie up. "Come on, sweetheart. Daddy's busy." Her voice was ice cold. Lucas left without looking back. In the car, the tightness in his chest grew. He opened the window, breathed deep, but it didn't help. That suffocating feeling had been with him for months. The doctor said it was anxiety. Prescribed medication. Lucas didn't take it. No time for side effects. The meeting was a disaster. The investors wanted faster results. The project that should take a year needed to be completed in 6 months. It was impossible. Lucas tried to explain, but the majority partner, Robert, cut him off. "Lucas, either you deliver or we find someone who will." The threat hung in the air, 10 people around the table, all looking at him, waiting, judging. He swallowed hard. "We'll deliver." A lie. He knew it was a lie, but the truth would cost him his job. And without the job, how would he pay the bills? How would he support Marina and Sophie? How would he prove he wasn't a failure like his father? On the way out, Robert called him for a private conversation. "Lucas, you're good, very good, but you're slow. I know someone who can help." Robert handed him a white card with just a name and number, Dr. Henry Salz. He works with high-performance executives, has a method, let's say, unconventional, but it works. Doubles your productivity, your mental clarity, your energy. You'll be able to do in 6 months what would take you 2 years. Lucas looked at the card. "What kind of method?" Robert smiled. "Ask him, but I'll tell you this, all the big names you know use it. Why do you think some people accomplish so much while others just survive? It's not talent, Lucas. It's technology." The word hung between them. Technology. There was something sinister about it, but also seductive. "Think of it as an upgrade," Robert continued. "Your body is hardware. Your mind is software. Sometimes it needs a patch. Nothing illegal, nothing dangerous, just maximized efficiency." Lucas put the card in his pocket. That night, he came home and the living room was dark. Marina had left a covered plate in the fridge and a note on the table. "Took Sophie to my mother's. I need to think." His hands trembled holding the paper. He knew what that meant. Marina was tired. He was losing her. Losing everything. Lucas sat on the floor of the empty kitchen. The silent house echoed his loneliness. He couldn't remember the last time he'd really talked to his wife. Couldn't remember the last time he'd held Sophie in his arms, unhurried, just feeling her weight, her warmth, her existence. He had traded life for productivity. And now he had neither. Dr. Sal's card was on the table. Lucas picked it up. His fingers hesitated over the phone numbers. A voice inside him whispered, "Don't do this." But another voice, louder, more desperate, screamed, "You have no choice. If you lose your job, you lose everything. Do whatever it takes." He called. Dr. Sal's clinic was in a discreet building, nothing flashy. The reception was minimalist, white, cold. Lucas was greeted by an assistant who took him directly to a room where the doctor was waiting. Dr. Sal's was in his early 50s, gray hair, penetrating gaze. He didn't waste time on formalities. "Robert called me, said you need maximum performance in a short time frame. I can offer that, but you need to understand what you're choosing." Lucas leaned forward. "What exactly do you do?" "I optimize the nervous system. Through a combination of advanced nootropics, neural stimulation, and specific artificial REM sleep protocols, I can increase your cognitive capacity by 300%. You'll sleep 3 hours a night and wake up more rested than sleeping 8. You'll process information 3 times faster. You'll have absolute focus for 16 hours straight." It sounded too good to be true. "And the side effects?" Dr. Sal's hesitated for the first time. "That depends. Some clients report emotional detachment, difficulty feeling, connections. It's temporary. When you stop treatment, you return to normal. But during use, your mind prioritizes logic over emotion. It's the price of extreme efficiency." Lucas felt a chill. "Emotional detachment? What do you mean?" "You won't feel anxiety, fear, or guilt the same way. That's good for work, but it can affect personal relationships. That's why I recommend limited use. 6 months maximum." 6 months. Exactly the deadline Lucas had. "How much does it cost?" $3,000 a month, but I guarantee results. If it doesn't work, I'll refund your money." Lucas did the math. $18,000, half the family savings, the money Marina had been saving for a down payment on a house, Sophie's future. But if he lost his job, there'd be no future at all. "I'll do it." Dr. Sal smiled. "Excellent. We start tomorrow." The first few days were magical. Lucas woke at 4 a.m, mind crystal clear. He worked without pause, without distraction, without fatigue. Ideas flowed. Problems solved themselves. In 1 week, he'd advanced more than in the previous 3 months. Robert noticed. His colleagues noticed. Lucas was different, better, faster, more efficient. But there was a cost. Marina came home with Sophie after a week. She tried to talk to him, but Lucas barely listened. Not out of malice, but because he simply felt no need. Her words seemed like noise, irrelevant. He had work to do. Sophie tried to play with him, but Lucas felt no desire. He felt no anger, no guilt, nothing. Just the practical emptiness of efficiency. Marina cried one night, saying he seemed like a stranger. Lucas heard, processed it logically, and responded, "I'm doing this for us. You'll thank me when I get the promotion." She left the room without answering. A month later, Lucas was at his peak. The project was advancing at record speed. Robert talked about making him a partner. The future looked bright. Until the night Sophie fell. Lucas was working from home, headphones on, immersed in code. Marina screamed. He took off the headphones, annoyed. Sophie had tripped on the stairs, hit her head. She was bleeding. Marina ran to the car, asking Lucas to come with her. He looked at his watch. He had a video conference in 20 minutes. Important, decisive. "You can take her yourself," he said. "It's not serious. Kids fall all the time." Marina looked at him as if she didn't recognize him. She picked Sophie up and left. Lucas went back to his computer. The conference went well. He closed an important deal. When Marina returned hours later, Sophie had a bandage on her forehead. 5 stitches. The girl held her teddy bear, eyes red from crying. Lucas asked if everything was okay. Marina didn't answer. She just took Sophie to the bedroom and closed the door. That night, Lucas couldn't sleep, not from emotional worry, but because something inside him, something small but insistent, began tearing through the veil of efficiency. He went to Sophie's room. The girl slept, hugging her teddy bear, the white bandage contrasting with her dark curls. Lucas sat beside the bed. He reached out, touched her face, and felt nothing. The horror of it hit him like a punch. He was looking at his daughter and felt no love, no protection, no connection. He saw just a child, a small human being. Data, information, nothing more. What had he become? Lucas left the room and went to the bathroom. He looked at himself in the mirror. The person staring back had empty eyes, successful, efficient, dead inside. He remembered the promise he'd made to himself, that he'd be different from his father, that he'd be present, that he'd love without limits. But there he was, repeating the same pattern, only worse, because his father was absent, but at least felt something. Lucas had erased his own humanity in the name of productivity. He grabbed his phone and called Dr. Sal's, still early morning. The doctor answered. "I want to stop," Lucas said. "You're in the middle of treatment. If you stop now, you'll have severe withdrawal syndrome, severe exhaustion, mental confusion, depression. I recommend you complete the 6 months. I don't care. I want my life back." "Lucas, be rational. You're at your peak. The promotion is guaranteed. A few more months and you'll have everything you always wanted." "But I won't have myself." Silence on the other end. "You'll lose your job," Dr. Salz said. "And you won't be able to maintain the pace without treatment. Robert will replace you. Everything you built will crumble." "Then let it crumble." Lucas hung up. The following days were hell. Withdrawal knocked him down. He could barely get out of bed. His body begged for the drug that kept him functioning. His mind screamed that he'd made a mistake. Robert called, furious. The project was falling behind. Lucas couldn't explain. He was fired by email. $18,000 spent. Job lost. Marina considering divorce. Lucas had thrown everything away. But one afternoon, when he finally managed to get up, he went to the living room. Sophie was drawing on the floor. She looked at him, hesitant. "Hi, Daddy." Lucas sat beside her, and for the first time in months, he really saw her. The messy curls, the bandage almost falling off, the shy smile, and he felt love, overwhelming, immense, devastating love. He pulled her into a hug and started crying. Sophie stayed quiet, small arms around his neck. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "Sorry for not being here. Sorry for losing sight of you." Marina appeared in the doorway. She saw the scene, her eyes filled with tears. Lucas extended his hand to her. "Forgive me too." Marina hesitated. Then she approached and sat beside them. The 3 of them stayed there, on the living room floor, embraced, in silence. For the first time in years, Lucas wasn't thinking about anything else. He just felt. He was present. He was alive. The rebuilding was slow. Lucas was unemployed for 3 months. Marina went back to work part-time. They sold the car, traded it for a simpler one, cut expenses, learned to live with less, and curiously, they were happier. Lucas started working as a freelancer, small projects, nothing grand, but he had time. Time to take Sophie to the park. Time to cook with Marina. Time to breathe. One day, a former colleague called. He'd opened a consulting firm and needed someone with Lucas's experience. The work was remote, flexible, paid well. "Why are you offering me this?" Lucas asked. "Because I remember you before you became a machine. You were brilliant, human. I want that guy back. The other one, the efficient robot, I don't want him." Lucas accepted. 6 months later, he was supervising projects from home, balancing work and family. It wasn't the meteoric career he'd dreamed of, but it was a real life, with real people, with real love. Robert, he learned later, had a nervous breakdown. He continued using Dr. Sal's protocol until his body couldn't take it anymore. He was hospitalized, recovering, alone, no family, no friends, just empty success. Lucas put Sophie to bed that night. She asked for a story. He made one up about a man who wanted to fly so fast he forgot to feel the wind. "And then?" Sophie asked. Then he slowed down and discovered the wind was the best part. Sophie smiled and closed her eyes. Lucas stayed there, sitting beside the bed, listening to her breathing. He was in no hurry to go anywhere. Life is not a race. It never was. It's just choices. And Lucas had finally chosen to be present. Not in the future, not in the past. Here, now, with the people who loved him, not his productivity. And for the first time in years, he felt peace. This isn't just Lucas's story. It's the story of all of us. You who run so fast, you forgot where you're going. You who work so much, you forgot who you're working for. You who seek success but lose yourself along the way. The choice is yours. Every morning, you can choose the rush or you can choose presence. You can choose efficiency or you can choose humanity. You can choose empty success or you can choose a full life. It won't be easy. The world will demand speed from you, but your soul asks for depth. And in the end, when everything passes, what remains isn't how many meetings you had or how many projects you delivered. What remains is how many times you were really there, how many times you felt, how many times you loved without rushing, without fear, without your mind somewhere else. If this story touched you, share it with someone who's also running too fast. Subscribe to this channel to continue this journey of self-discovery. And remember, you don't need to do everything now. You just need to be present for what really matters. The darkness of rushing is temporary, but the light of presence is eternal.